Hello everyone. Hope you all are doing good. I'm Ruben. It's exactly 6:01. Let's give people like 5 minutes. By 6:05 we kick off. So hello there. Hope you all are doing good. I'm Ruben. It's currently 6:03. I'm going to be the one taking through the session today. I don't know if the executives from the CTF room maybe want to say something before we start. Jones, please, if you have anything to say.
Before John talks, thank you, Ruben, for showing up. And we are looking forward to hearing and learning from you today. My name is Derek. I also am part of the CTF room team, the security side. I led you yesterday. I led you last on our last walkthrough, which was the previous week, but one, which we went through vulnerable bank. So I would just like to hand over to Ruben. Today, he will be taking us through the hospital vault, of which Jones, the one who created it. And we are looking forward to learn from Ruben and also learn from each other, as I know some of us might, or most of us might have better methods on how to conduct the test that we are going to do today. So just a reminder that the vault will be open from now when the walkthrough starts up to after the end of this session, 1 hour after, and so it will be closed and it will be a premium vault. So let's just take privilege of that and yeah, thank you. I'm going to hand it over to Jones. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Derek, and also thank you so much, Ruben, for this session today. I'm not going to say much today, other than just seeing how and how easy the challenge was actually. And I'm also keen to learning the different methodologies that we may employ to solve different challenges. So, without saying so much, Ruben, I'm handing it over to you. Please take us through. Thank you.
So hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. It's a great honor. I'm Ruben Kanyoko Wahome. I'll be the one leading the session today. I'm co-founder Cyber Sensei. I've been doing so many things. I won't talk so much. I'll just dive into the session. I think I'll not be the one who will be answering questions on the chats, but I'll try and so much to check on them. If you have any question while I'm doing the walkthrough, I don't mind. You can just ask. Or you just unmute your mic. And for all those who are here, the session will be recorded. I need to tell you that because of things like data protection, all that, everything. The session will be recorded. Currently, it's being recorded, and I hope we'll have a good one. I really hope we'll have a good one. Let's learn from one another. And I think I'll start sharing my screen. Oh, you're not allowed to share your screen. Jones, please, can you allow me to share my screen?
Yes, oh yes, you are to share your screen. It's allowed.
Maybe according to the restrictions, because I can see I'm not. You're not allowed to share your screen. You can ask the meeting host to turn on screen sharing. Maybe, and I think the hosts. Maybe Derek, you can check on that, please.
Oh, maybe let Jones take a look at it. I believe he's fixing that.
In the meantime, let me refresh my page.
Apologies for that. I'm checking that one out shortly. Just a moment.
For those who are asking how to access the vault, assuming you already have a CTF room account, you'll see it under the events on your dashboard under the events side, the my events. Yeah, I think it's present. You join it through. You can access the vault through there. Over to you, Ruben.
You're a co-host now, so I think you should be able to do that.
Yes, amazing. I just got the notification. Thank you so much. I think we can now start. I'll share my screen. My entire screen. So hopefully all is good. Please confirm if you can see my CTF room page.
Yes, we can.
Okay, let me sign in. Just a minute. Now the vault is under range time. Let me get it right. Yeah, this one. The hospital. So for those who are not familiar with the platform, it's a really easy, user-friendly platform. And where you need to go to the modules under the lab. Just click the lab. And first of all, let's now first do the description, the vault description. Unity Health, a major national government hospital, is increasingly concerned about the security of its digital infrastructure. The hospital relies on a public-facing web portal that allows patients to access records, scheduled appointments, and manage personal information. Recently, the IT team detected suspicious activity, suggesting that the portal may contain vulnerability that could expose sensitive data. Initial investigations point to possible weakness in the application's input handling. Your task is to investigate the web application, identify the vulnerability, and retrieve the hidden flag left by the attacker. As you understand, really, honestly, hospital, it's going to hold a lot of sensitive data. That's why I think the creator maybe themed it with the title hospital. And we'll start the lab. In the meantime, while it starts, it's a hectic weekend at Unity Health with a surge in patients, patient admissions, and the systems under strain. The hospital's IT infrastructure is operating at maximum capacity. Amid the chaos, whispers of potential vulnerabilities have reached the upper management. Before a real adversary exploits them, you've been tasked with simulating an attack, prop the network, discover weak points, and uncover hidden or forgotten digital assets. Your mission is to think like an attacker, identify what could be breached, exfiltrated, or disrupted if the wrong hands gained access. So we have that big statement there: explore, exploit, enumerate. The window of opportunity is open. What will you do if no one was watching? So that's amazing. The lab is already open. So on to our first question before we even do everything. What was the admin endpoint discovered? What was the admin endpoint discovered after enumeration and scanning? So whenever you're given such an IP address, this will link to most CTFs or just normal. Because remember, right now what we're dealing with, this is more of like a penetration testing. You've been called upon to do a penetration testing on this portal. So our first step, since you've been given the IP address, our first step will actually be just to identify the open ports on their portal. Because I understand that one time you may get the web interface is actually not running on port 80. Sometimes maybe you need to specify the port or anything of the sort. So let's first try. Before we go that, I think there's something I've not done. There's a file. You understand, in every CTF, there you may be given a file. So this file, you're going to download it. Let me create another. So I'm going to save the file there. I'm going to unzip it. Extract here. So this file actually has wordlist9.txt. So this is what you're going to be dealing with. You'll understand why we need it later on, but not in this first question. So back to our terminal. I've just turned on my terminal. I'll cd ctf from where we have everything. Yeah, we have the word lists 9. So first of all, I'm going to do an nmap scan. The best thing, let me maximize my screen. The best thing to do with an nmap scan, I like to add some flags here where I get to identify the version of whatever service is running on a port. So I'll do this flag, SV, and then the IP. Oh, no, not that. Sorry for that. I didn't copy the IP. This IP we got here. Yes, that one. Try to hide that. So we'll do an nmap scan. In the meantime, before it fires up, we can maybe check. We've been asked what is the admin endpoint discovered after enumeration. We can just actually check if, because we've already been told this is a web interface, maybe we can check if it actually just runs. Yeah, so it's very okay. I'll continue checking for nmap results. So this a normal web pen tester in a normal situation, whenever they're given a website like this, they'll try to first identify the overall page they're dealing with. So this page, it actually doesn't have so much. We have Unity Health. This is the index.php. We have learn more about them. It takes us to about .php. So what the hospital deals with, the departments. So you can see there are various subdirectories. So for those who don't understand, a subdirectory is whatever selecting here. This is the subdirectory you're dealing with. So this holds now the page for departments, the contacts page. So what a normal hacker will do, or a normal pen tester, first of all, I'll check the page source. If there are any hidden hints about endpoints or anything, mostly for this lab, we didn't have anything. I'll go back, I'll inspect. I'm just mentioning a few because, you know, in a normal pen testing, it might not be the same with this page. So it's all about learning. Inspecting the page, you can check the console once in a while. Doesn't have any flags you can check with. Debugger, maybe. Any cookies, maybe. No, there are no cookies because we're not logged in or anything. It's okay, it's nice. I'll expect, yeah. My nmap is already given me some results. So we have port 22 open, the SSH port. It's running open SSH 9.6 P1. Port 80, it's open. This is whatever we have just dealt with here. This one. This is the port 80 we've dealt with. And it's running Apache. Don't mind my pronunciation, Apache. HTTPD 2.4.58 is the version. I highly recommend everyone to be using this flag because there'll come a time where you'll actually go through the whole website. You'll be like, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not getting an endpoint to actually penetrate through? Sometimes this is actually a clue. There's a lab also in this same CTF room where you needed to identify the version that is running, the Apache version, then go in ExploitDB and identify the exploit from it. But for this lab, we'll use a different method. So we've been told. So our main aim here is doing scanning and enumeration. I'll search for more subdirectories because, as you can see, we have dealt with index.php. We have dealt with about. We've dealt with departments. Maybe there are more. So how do you check? The best tool I'll recommend for this is GoBuster. Some people will use Fav or either of them. I recommend GoBuster. So for GoBuster, I'll identify my word list I want to use. So I like using common.txt. If this font actually is maybe too big, maybe you can tell me I've just done this because of maybe make sure people see it. Common.txt. I'll locate it. I can see all these are common.txt, but I'll specifically look for this one because it holds for web content. You know, the common.txt, but it holds passwords. General, like this one holds general, but I'll use this for checklist that actually deals with web content. So in the GoBuster command, it's this syntax, GoBuster directory. We are getting directory, so make sure you use the dir. Then you use the URL you're trying to get. So I'll use not the full HTTPD, not the full about.php. I'll get this. Nice, amazing, that one. Then you use the word list you need to use. So I'll just copy this, the web content. Just copy that and leave that running now. GoBuster will actually run the scanning. These are the subdirectory it has actually gotten, but they are having the status 4.3. So no need of checking on them right away. We need some few more. Let's give it like 2 minutes, 2 seconds. The first one is assets. This one will actually hold some assets for the web application. Give it a little bit more time. One thing for workers, time is always, you have to give your program, your tool time. So in the meantime, I'll be checking on closing that up. So first question was endpoint. Maybe the second question was asking about admin form. Okay, no problem. It's about to get done. Just a minute. Index.php is the one we've already accessed. Give it a little bit more time. There's an endpoint I want us to discover here. Yeah, this one. Actually got it. So remember what question you asked. What was the admin endpoint discovered after enumeration and scanning? Just remember you've been asked admin endpoint. So this is web admin. You can just copy this, copy that. So this is actually the admin endpoint. One thing I know, I'll just say this because it's here. One thing I know about normal CTFs, people expect their login pages should be in like login.php, admin.php, but the creator of this actually just twisted it a little bit. He made sure it was just a normal subdirectory. So so the endpoint you should enter this web admin. So for those who have, I'm not going to enter because I've already solved the question. You can see I've already solved it. So there, that's the web admin, and that's the admin endpoint you need to enter for that question. So move to the second question. So the admin login form was brute forced, and a password used by the attacker allowed them to log in. What was the password? You've been given a hint: use admin as username, and they provided one list to brute force login. So this specifically means you just need to brute force this login page. But there are a few important things you need to make sure to get. You've already been given the hint that you are supposed to log in using the admin endpoint, the admin username. So whenever I'm going to recommend for us to use the tool Hydra for brute forcing. I like using Hydra for online, like brute forcing, but John the Ripper will be the one that maybe use whenever I'm trying to crack passwords offline, like in my local directory. But whenever I'm dealing with online brute forcing, I recommend Hydra. So in this, whenever you're using Hydra, in the syntax of Hydra, sorry for that, in the syntax of Hydra, there's one thing you need to filter out: the error messages. Because understand, you're trying to brute force. It's more of like trying like 1,000 passwords against this server. First of all, most servers actually have that filter option of whenever it detects like multiple login attempts, it blocks you. And another thing you notice, whenever you are dealing with such kind of thing, you get so many errors from the attacker's endpoint, from the attacker's end. You get so many errors since you're getting invalid credential, wrong password, or wrong username and wrong password. Either all those are the error messages you get after trying to brute force, and you haven't gotten the exact password. So what I need us to do here, you're supposed to get that error message the server is going to return back to you whenever you're trying to brute force. So I need us to use admin. You've already been told the username is admin. Then I'm going to type a random password. Let me type sensei maybe, a random password, then login right now. So notice this is the error. This is the error message that I'm getting from the failed login, from the failed authentication. So there's another thing we need to understand. Whenever you're dealing with Hydra, you have to specifically state the usernames, the input fields Hydra is going to try against. So in what I mean is, you see this is the input field for the username admin. But remember, this might just be the front end where you have the capital U. Maybe the server is actually taking in the input field of username with, let me open my mouse point. Maybe it's taking, you see, the front end might have, not this one, surely not this one. The front end might have this. The front end might have this, but the exact server is not actually checking this username. It's not checking this input field. It's actually checking maybe username. This is one important thing people have to understand whenever they're brute forcing. Also the password. Maybe the front end is actually just telling you password like this, right? Maybe it's just telling you the password, but in real sense, the server might be actually be checking the input field as pass, or maybe as password. These are the important things you need to check whenever you're dealing with brute forcing. So how do you identify this exactly? Make sure to check the page source. I personally check the page source. Sorry for that. It's because I had selected that. I'm going to check the page source for the whole page. Identify this. So you have been told the username with the capital U, right? But what the server is actually checking is this, the input. It's actually checking the ID of username with a small letter U. I hope you understand that well. That's one thing you need to understand whenever you're brute forcing. So I'll now go to my Hydra command. Hopefully the server has let me refresh this. It's still working. So I'll clear this page. I'll now fire up my Hydra command. Hydra, you check with username admin. Remember, you have the username admin, then the password. It's now going to check from the word list. Remember, I have my word list from this same directory. If you don't have it, maybe enter the full directory you have where it is. Then the IP address which we're about to deal with. I'll copy this IP address. Sorry for that. I'll copy that IP address. Then after the IP address, we're dealing with the HTTP post form. I understand that one, as I've written that one well. Then I'm going to now the input fields where I'm going to start first with the endpoint, web admin. So whenever you're dealing with index.php or admin.php or login.php, this is where you actually enter it, the endpoint exactly. And in this endpoint, it's supposed to check the field username. Remember the exact field we noticed here, this username. It's actually supposed to check that. Then what will the Hydra command be trying? It will be trying the user here. So this is what the Hydra command understands. And now we enter the end command. And now for the password, remember what our password was being, this one. I'm just going to paste it there. This one thing I didn't put here, the equal sign. Amazing. So password, it's going to check with pass. Hopefully the command will work well. So what does it filter out? So in the last part, you actually enter the filter. What does it actually filters out? The error message. So make sure you actually copy this very well. Even without that full stop, it won't work. Even without that full stop, it won't work. Invalid credentials. Then I end my quote there. Hopefully it will work. When I was testing it, I think it took literally 2 minutes. So our main aim is actually to get the username and we already have the username. Remember, I use the username here, admin. It got us this, the username, this. It's actually going to check here. So let's give it like 2 minutes. It gets us the exact username and password. You want to check if still the server is working. It's still responsive. Let's give it some little bit 10 seconds maybe. And I really hope it was actually with the small letter L. Yeah, amazing, nice. I was worried there. So we already have our username and password now. You can see HTTP post form, the IP address, the username admin, and the password switch P1. So I'm just going to copy this. Password, username admin. We're going to log in. Not now. Amazing. So I think that answers question number 2. So you've been asked what is the password. So the password is switch P. So I literally just use Hydra command and it got me the password. So I think we'll move forward to the next question. So the next question, question 3, is asking what is the flag after getting the reverse shell. So from here, you just need to get an endpoint where you'll actually feed a script that will actually reverse back to you. So one thing I need to do, you need to I'll say scavenge. I don't have a suitable word. You need to go through the whole page, the whole website, to just identify where we can have our inputs. Remember, there are inputs, there are servers that actually prevents some certain kind of inputs, everything. So the dashboard page is clean. We don't have somewhere where we can maybe upload something. The patients page. So identify this is the patients page. And remember, this was a page that a normal user will not have identified from when we were starting off. So the appointments page. So you can see you can only reschedule and cancel an appointment. That doesn't allow us to upload something. But directly on this staff page, you'll notice this staff page, they were told, or they were given some time, they were supposed to upload their certificates. Sorry for that. Maybe they were supposed to upload their certificates, or maybe the hospital is supposed to upload some certificate for them. Maybe they went for a training or something of the sort. So what do we do here? Our main aim here now is getting a reverse shell. So whenever you're dealing with a reverse shell, first of all, there's one thing you need. You need a listener. You need a script that will actually will need to be executed in that server so that you get the reverse shell. So it's more of like now we are trying to get deep into the system. So I've already written a script, or maybe I've already gotten a script. It's on our GitHub repository. I'll maybe share it in the description or in the group. This is in our GitHub repository in CyberSensei. We have it here, hospital shell.php. And it's not a must you actually use this. Sometimes you may just write it down with your own coding experience, or maybe get an AI to maybe get you a reverse shell. So this, I'm going to use this. I'm going to download this profile. Maybe if you don't have it, you can actually just download from our page. Give me a minute. Let me CTF from. Is it CTF from? Save it there. Hopefully, I expect it's supposed to be here. Sorry for that. LS. So it's here, hospital shell. So I'm going to open it using either Nano text editor, or I can actually open it with mousepad so that people might actually see whatever I'm dealing with. So this is a script that we are going to be uploading to the server, and it gets us a response. It gets us a way into the system. One thing you'll notice, you need to enter an IP address here and the port number here. So whenever you're dealing with a reverse shell, you need actually to be in the same network with it. So what I need to do, I'll use tunneling, because remember, whenever I'm trying to just use my normal IP address, the server, this specific server, it's not directly connected to my network. So I'm going to deal with a tunneling agent. I personally use ngrok, but for today, we are going to be using something else called PingGui. ngrok, maybe I think there was some update they did some recent days when I was practicing this lab. I noticed they wanted some credit cards or something. So I'm going to be using a tunneling agent. So for those who don't know tunneling agent, it's mostly used by people. Yes, we are penetration testers use it, but also people who do social engineering. They maybe use it to make sure that they get a way into your network. So remember, you're trying to get a way into the network of this web application. So I'm going to use a tunneling agent of PingGui. So it's the syntax is this SSH-P 443. It's capital R, that's 0. Localhost. Remember, I'm just trying to connect it back to my localhost. And the port I'll be using for this reverse shell is 444. And make sure once you set this to be that port, make sure the listener you'll be setting will be using that specific port. This specific port I've entered 444. And I'll be using TCP at pingui.io. Hopefully it works. Connection closed by. Okay, let me see what I'm doing wrong. That's a 0, maybe, hopefully. Local hosts. Dispute PingGui. So I'm going to use I'm sure I've used this tool, so I'm just going to no. Let me see if this one will work. Oh, I might have been missing something. Is it? Let me try out the both. But remote forwarding, yeah, that means that. Let me see this. Connection close. Give me a minute. Let me check what this is doing wrong. I'll have to use my AI maybe to understand why I'm getting this error.
Could the report be in use? What the report you're specifying?
Reports. The 443. So should I maybe change the 443 maybe?
Yeah, try playing around with the ports.
Let's see.
Cybersecurity is no longer optional, but most people still struggle to learn it the right way. Most learning focuses on theory, but real-world skills come from practice. CTF Room is a hands-on cybersecurity learning platform built for real-world skill development. Through interactive capture-the-flag challenges, security labs, and simulations, you learn by solving real cybersecurity problems across multiple domains. We focus on learning by doing, not memorization, with progressive challenges for every skill level. Whether you're a student, a professional, switching careers, or training a team, CTF Room is built for you. Our mission is to make cybersecurity learning accessible, practical, and engaging for everyone. Join CTF Room today and start building real cybersecurity skills.
Hopefully it works. So I'm not getting a response from this. Let's see. Maybe if someone knows how to deal with it, because actually I think I did it in the morning, or maybe the work I did today. Okay, maybe. Yeah. So it was this small typo of sorry for that. Sorry for that. So let me repeat that again. So for those who have not understood, I've used the command ssh-p443 localhost. I want it to be connected back to my localhost. Then I'll use the listener 4444. Then this tool, it's actually a new tool I've used recently. So I think that's why it was tempting me. So once you run it, you have to enter passphrase. So that's the passphrase I used. And this is actually the link that we are going to be using to connect back to my system. That's one thing. I needed to set up the tunneling. The other thing, I need to set up a listener. My listener, I'll just use NC /lvnp. Remember the same port that we used recently in our tunneling command. So it's going to just be listening there. So one thing I need us to do in this, the shell I have, we have to change this port, the IP port, the IP and the port. So this IP, you need to use, I want us, so many people fall short of this, fall for this. Maybe they take the whole, that's the whole link. Maybe they took from TCP, but it's supposed to take from here, not there, from here to there where you have the free link. Copy that, paste that there. Yeah, I was wondering why is it becoming so long. So that's the IP. Now the same port I was given here is what you're going to make reverse shell give us access to. So the port number is that. So once I do that, I can save it. I'll go back to my portal. Take that out. I'll go back to my portal. Let me confirm it's still on, still working. Seems it might have gone down. Maybe let's try again. That's one thing you need to be constantly doing. I'll now have to stop my lab or reboot it. Let me just stop it. Good thing is we already know the endpoint. We already know. I'm going to start it again. We already know the endpoint. We already know the password. We just need it to be back on. As of now, anyone with a question can actually be asking in the meantime before we get our lab up. Amazing. So the instance has just been launched. I'll clear all this. Where did admin? So that's the problem. It's going with the HTTP. Oh, it's not happening. Yeah, amazing. So admin switch P on. Just enter the password you got when you were brute forcing. I go back to my staff page. Now, in this staff page, it's where I'm now supposed to upload the reverse shell. So remember, I've worked on the reverse shell. I've my channeling is my channeling agent is actually live. You can see it. My listener is waiting. So I've already updated my scripts. Exactly the same channeling link IP address. So this is actually like now the IP address. Hope you understand that. Now this is like the IP address. This is the port. I've already updated them on the shell, and now I'm going to upload it. So here, so I'm going to upload those. Goes to shell. So once I do that, I upload it. Or is it taking long? Give it a second. Can you guys maybe hear me? Maybe my network is.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, we can hear you.
Supposed to upload. Let me. Server is now failing me just for a minute. Let's give it time. Just I think I know the solution to this. I'll log out from the portal. Maybe my IP address keeps on changing. Just a minute, guys. Just a minute. No, I don't think it will. Maybe I don't think it will disappoint us now. I really believe it will work well. If you give it the 3 minutes you're being told here, because maybe I was rushing it. I believe my channel is still working here. So give it some few seconds. Let me at least for the minutes. If someone has reached them, if there are any WhatsApp for follow up. Yeah, there's a WhatsApp, there's a community for the CTF room. I think Derek will maybe give you the link. It's a community CTF room. Is there, okay, before I continue, maybe anyone else with a question? You can just unmute. Okay, so I'll check the lab now. Hopefully it's fully spawned up. Yeah, I believe now it's looks like it's working well. I don't think now we'll have any. Now, staff page directly, upload page. CTF from. I see I have so many folders CTF from, but I think it's because of the many competitions I've been participating there. Nice, amazing. So it's already uploaded. It's in the server. Remember when we were doing GoBuster scanning, we had an endpoint upload. So I think that's why it's uploaded. And keep in mind, our listener is still here. This is exactly where we need to check for our shell will work. So view certificates. I'm now like executing the shell. So uploads, you see the uploads endpoint and the hospital shell.php, the one that I've now uploaded. I think the way it's loading, it means it has worked, and now that's it. I'm already in the server. I've gotten a reverse shell. I can now run normal commands like a normal user. You can see the server has even told me my user ID is 33 with the user www data. We can confirm this. Who am I? Let me maybe expand so people can see that. Maybe zoom in. Who am I? Can see exactly the same www data. So where am I? Normally, I'll be here, and let's do ls. You can see. So the next question. Remember the question we were asked was Okay, I think there's a question. Someone has asked something. Or Derek, your hand is up, maybe. Derek, you can talk. Hey, can anybody hear me? I'm like, okay, John's can. Derek, I can see your arm is up, but I'm expecting you talk maybe.
Oh, sorry. I think I pressed it by mistake. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. So I'll get back to where I was. So I've you can see you can now run the normal commands. Who am I? www data, pwd. I'm in the root directory, not in the root, the home. So we are supposed to get the flag. So remember, this kind of assets. Remember, we're dealing with some assets. This kind of asset, there's that normal directory or the default directory for every web application. I need us to change to that so that we can get that flag. So a normal hacker will check this. Ls the var w html. Sorry for that, HTML. Maybe you check what is in there, and you can see there's an about.php. What I'm trying to say is this is the default for those web assets. So you can see these the about, these the assets, the contact.php, departments, doctors, and this is the flag we are looking for. I believe the creator Jones might have added this so that maybe you don't find it so easily with the grep and everything. So I'll cut that. So maybe cd to var www. I'm going to use this so that at least make sure we get wd. So I'm going to cut plug1.txt .font. I will have done this from just straight, but I've just changed the directory first before I get. So now we have our flag1 reverse shelling like a boss. You know, the main thing here, the main challenge was someone getting the endpoint for reverse shell, for getting a reverse shell. Then they're supposed to identify how they are going to tunnel into the server. So once you get that, you understand we already have our flag. So I think that covers question number 3. Yeah. So what is the flag after getting the reverse shell? That works. So that's the flag we've gotten it. So next question number 4. What is the hash of user SVC backup? So notice we've been asked what is the hash for the user SVC backup. So we've been asked the hash. Hash is mostly, I'll say password. I think maybe he meant the password hash, according to me, the password hash. So there are a few files you need to understand that are really they really matter in your line of cybersecurity. There's this file, etc. So I believe I've written it well, and the etc shadow. So this one holds. I want us to specifically understand why we need to know all this. This one holds user information, user accounts, user information. Like if you want to identify what other users in the system, what other users is in the system, and maybe identify what they can do, what role do they play in the system. This, and it's always let me not say always. It's mostly available for everyone. It doesn't determine if you are a user, normal user, if you are a root user. It's available, and it stores its details in plain text. I'll actually check it in the server so that we know that, we confirm that. Then there's this other file, etc shadow. These I want everyone to understand this because they are mostly tested in CTFs, and I really understand they are important because it's in a real world situation. It should be stored there. The etc shadow. Now for this etc shadow, it holds hashed passwords. And when I say hashed password, they are not just in plain text because they're not in plain text. First of all, second thing, and it is not available for everyone in the system. They are only available for the root users. So only if you deceive the server or the system that you are a root user, it's only then that you can actually check the data inside the etc shadow. Only and only if you convince the system or the server that you are a root user. If you can't convince it, it will just tell you permission denied, right? So we now have to find a way. We need to check and see the password for SVC, understand SVC backup. Because once you've been told hash, you want to identify the hash password. the password hash. So I've told you guys that etc password is available for everyone. So let's confirm this. So cut. Sorry for that. Let me just take it. Let me avoid the shortcuts. You can see. I'll minimize this. You can literally see that every user we can actually check them. And remember, I'm not a root user. I'm currently just a normal www data user. You can actually check. You can see everyone. There's the CTF room user. There's a landscape user, UAD. I'm giving the server time so that it's not done. It's not done. Yeah, it's now done. You can actually see every user account. So let's maybe check if you can see. I want to prove to you that it's not this file is not available for everyone. etc shadow. So notice I've just been told permission denied. Remember, who am I? I'm just a normal www data user. So we need to identify a way to deceive this system or deceive the server. I'm a root user. Either that or I make myself a root user. Understand? So normally I can't just do the su command because I don't have the password for the root user. So I'm not going to exploit the system itself. So the next thing I need to do, I'm going to check for SUID, set user ID. This SUID, some people call it SUID, set user ID, everything. So I'm going to first check this one identifies. It helps me identify which commands can I run as a root user and I'm not a root user. I believe you understand me. It's trying to see which commands can I run like a root user, like without being checked if I'm a root user or not. And I'm not a root user. So this is now the command I'm going to use. So find it. No. Yeah, find for permissions. Yes. It will use dev. Now whatever I'm typing here right at the end is going to deal with avoiding errors. Oh, of course I messed up. I used some different thing. This hopefully it works. Yeah, it actually works. So this is the command to check this set user ID. I want to identify the programs or the tools or everything I can run without needing to be that I don't need to be a root user. There's one specific one that for this lab you needed to identify this find.
My own purpose.
Okay, maybe.
And in the details that followed, as the citizen became clear,
Let me mute you.
I've made you rings at night.
Okay, I believe that works. Amazing. So head back to my terminal. Just a minute. Let me put my laptop on some power. Okay, amazing. So this is a specific tool, the find tool, the normal find tool. Remember, I actually used it. This find tool. I used it, and it's under the root users. So this will actually tell you I can actually find, in quotes, find anything. I can find anything in this system without being asked who are you, or without even the system checking who am I. Because remember, it's under the set user ID privileges. I can check everything here. And remember, they were not available for me. These are what the root users can actually check. So now what I'll do, I've already identified I can use the find command. So I'll now let me. Okay, this can't run Control L. Okay, amazing. So I'll try to check to find the specific hash value for SVC backup. The user SVC backup, right? So I'll use the find command. So find etc shadow. Remember, it's in the etc shadow file. It's I'm not going to check in the etc password or any other file. I'm going to check in the etc shadow file. Exec It need to be cut and backslash. So once I run this, the whole thing, I think it will get me no such file. Shadow, etc shadow. Find etc shadow. Maybe let me identify that well. Find etc shadow. etc shadow. I believe this should work. Cut etc shadow. Find especially running. Sorry. Finding hard time to read it through execution. Let me identify what I'm doing wrong. Got space, maybe there need to be a space there. Hopefully it works. Hopefully the server is still up. The server is down already. Since it's still not loading up.
I think our labs normally have the timeout. I think it's past that time because last I was checking, it was 8 minutes remaining. I think I have to restart.
But actually, funny enough,
you did. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it has worked. But let's in the next comment maybe we can check. So let me. It has actually worked. It is this. So there's one thing you need to identify about search. So in this is the whole like the hash, the stored hash that's in there. So there are parts of the hash algorithm that you need to understand. So whenever you get this, you can someone who has actually done some password hashes cracking and everything. You need to know their types of hashes. So I think this first part, let me control Z that. This first part tells us the type, the specific type. Well, this I think this is yes script or something of the sort. The specific hash value, it starts from around here, from here all the way to this part. So that's the hash value you need to enter, because you asked, the server asked what is the hash. So you can't actually enter with the specific type and everything, all that. You just the cost parameter. What am I trying to say? There's the salting parameters, everything. There's the salt. There's the salt and the actual hash. So you first identify this. So the type. This is the type. This is the salt. The salt starts from around here. So this is the hash, the specific hash. Maybe if I'm wrong, someone might correct me there. And I think we can continue with that because that already answers the question for the hash question. What is the hash for the SBC user? Maybe someone might be Derek, maybe you can talk.
Not about that, but I was just pointing out that we in how many questions are remaining?
We have like 4.
Like 4.
Yes.
Oh, I think we are going to do this next question, the last one. And so in CTF room, we don't want to spoon feed everyone. Tutaki kumaliza utamu ya
Okay.
So we want the extra time that we are giving our users to be able to access the vault. They can actually try and interact with the platform, try and tackle the next questions. I think it's possible. I'm going to see if it's possible for us to make it at least 2 hours extra time, so that people can be able to explore. Yeah, so you're going to do this last question and then we can wind up. Thank you.
Okay, amazing. So it's actually where the juice is actually, it's the juicy part of the meat. So you've been asked, there's a home folder containing some user credentials. What is the name of the folder? I believe from what I'm seeing, I don't think this server is still up. I'll have to go to the lab.
I don't think you have to reboot the lab. Just the lab is still up. Try running a command and see if it works.
Oh, it's still working. Oh, actually amazing. I actually was seeing it's loading so much. I thought it was down. So we have been asked a question. There's a home folder containing some user credentials. What is the name of the folder? So when you check these under the home folder, ls home folder, you'll notice there are some 3 folders, specific folders. And just cutting to the chase, there are 3 folders in here. The one that it's only accessible to now the current user I am, the www data, doesn't have the credentials. So I think the creator of this challenge was blindly making sure, or was blindly telling you to escalate the privileges, make yourself a root user. ls home doesn't give me anything. Let's see. Why is it like that? So let's, okay, it actually was giving me something. So it has CTF room, SVC, backup, and Ubuntu. I rushed there. So it has 3, the CTF, SVC, backup, and Ubuntu. And because of the way the server is loading, I'm not going to use the ls-la command right now, because you can check with the ls-la command, you can check who is able to access these folders. So we need to escalate privileges. We already identified the find command. The find command can be used. We can use the find command to make ourselves look like a root user. So what do? I need to make, now in just this normal shell, I want to escalate to become a root shell. So I'll use the same tool, the find command. I'll use that dot full stop ready, the execution in sh. Now what I remember, I want the shell, the complete shell for the root user. So dash p. Backslash, and I'm going to avoid loops, I'm going to use quit. Hopefully it works. Once I think it's done, I'll use the command who am I to make sure I'm root. Let's wait for a small response. Just a minute, guys. We need to become a root user. So there's a home folder containing some user credentials. This is the name of the folder. Username. Actually, not going to be doing all this. As Derek said, home folder. Just to become root. Oh, give it time. Give it time. Yeah. Something might be up because remember I closed the shell. Let me, Derek, just please.
Since just to interrupt you, since the shell is already running, and then the server resources are not that much, so you're sharing the resources with the shell and also executing commands. That's why it's a bit slow.
Please come again, please. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you well.
I remember you're already executing, you're getting a reverse shell using the PHP script. So the server is actually more or less already working. Then you're also trying to navigate through the terminal. So, and the resources for the lab were not that much. You know, if it's meant for one person per lab, I think that's why it could be slow. But that is something I'll take a note of, something that we can bump up in the resources so that at least things are a bit faster. But the lab is up. Just slow.
Okay. So, would you allow me to maybe upload the shell maybe again?
Just take the IP and ping it on the terminal and see if it's up. If you're able to ping, then it's up.
No response. No response.
It's slow. It's pretty slow. Unless someone else is accessing the lab.
Yeah, I think already somebody.
yeah, I disabled the IP binding so that it doesn't affect the flow of the session. So someone else might be using your IP. So you're sharing with several other people.
Okay. I think that's why. So how do I redo it or?
You can just terminate it. Then I think Derek is versatile. I'm not overstating here, Derek. If time is up, just let us know. But I think he can just finish up on that last part.
Derek, do you allow me to maybe redo that part, that whole part?
Yes, you can.
Let me just. I believe this is still up. So I'm going to start the lab just to make sure this doesn't mess us up. At the time I've requested, let me just do this command and upload the script again. I had this. So for whoever had not noticed whatever I did here, you get some ample time now to see it again. 41 to 53. 41 to 53. Click that one. 41 to 53. 41 to 53. Maybe that's okay. I'm going to control S start. I believe the lab should be working by now. Let's make sure it's sync. Sorry if you might be hearing some noise from the background. I'm sorry for that. Didn't plan for that. I swear I didn't plan for that. Load it. CTF flow. Let's set the listener up. To view this certificate again. I did it down here. So I'm going to next. Let me confirm for you guys. That's LA, the home directory. You can see. I can't access everything here. You can see it's only available. You can only access whatever you want. So I can't CD into SVC backup. I can't CD into that. Let's see if I can CD into Ubuntu. Can't CD into Ubuntu. I believe I can CD into CTF room. Maybe I believe that. Yeah. Also, all of them, I can't CD into them. So I need to make myself a root user so that I can CD into them. So the command I wanted us to identify, since we already knew we can run find as a root user, we're going to use find, and I'm going to make sure it runs. Not that one. I want to make sure it runs as a shell. Exec executable bin sh. That's the approach to prevent any loops. Let's do unless it works. Who am I? I'm now root. Now I hope you have understood. So this is the main command that makes me a root user. Find on this maybe. Yeah, I believe you just with that you've seen it. So it already made me a root user. So I can now ls I can now cd into home. Where am I? pwd. I can now cd into the home directory. ls CTF room. You can see Guacamole server, all that doesn't have credentials as we were told, because remember we were told user, we were told there's a home folder containing some user credentials, the name of the folder, and actually ls CTF room doesn't have. I'm going to ls let's just remember what we're dealing with. I'm going to ls minus la. I forgot to use that with the CTF room, but you should use it. The minus la to identify any even hidden files. Ubuntu doesn't have logins, and I'm going to use now ls minus la svc backup. That's identified. It has credentials.txt. It has credits.txt. So the folder the challenge creator wanted us to get, the home folder, is specifically svc backup. This one. This is the folder. So you're just going to enter that, and it's going to have it flagged correctly. I believe I was only tasked to get there. Question 6, 7, 8, I believe they are very simple. You'll actually just flow with them. And I think I'm, as we have promised to Derek, I think I'm done with where I was supposed to get.
Thank you so much, Ruben, for the profound walkthrough that you've given to us. I think I've learned much from that, especially the point where you mentioned that you use Hydra for brute forcing on online platforms, and John the Reaper for local ones. I think I had quite challenges in that, and yeah, we really appreciate you taking us through today's vault, which was the hospital, and showing us the vulnerabilities and the privilege escalations that we are able to perform. I believe we are going to utilize the extra time that we have to be able to access the vault. If you want to access it after that time, it will be a premium vault. What else? I would just like to invite, I think I saw my team here, but yeah, invite either Geoffrey or Jones if you have anything to say, or anyone else has any feedback or comment. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you so much for that, Derek, and many thanks to you, Ruben. That was a splendid walkthrough. Actually, I was looking at it and I felt like the lab was completely new. I wasn't even familiar with. I felt like I wasn't familiar with the lab itself, and actually that took me quite a while back when I was designing that particular challenge, and it has inspired me to do it more. And also, while you're doing it, it also gave me different ideas on how I could have tackled it, how maybe I could have made it more difficult or challenging. And of course, I've also learned something new from your end. For example, the fact that you used find to locate the hash before you did the privilege escalation. That's something that actually I've seen now. Because for me, the first thing I would have done is jump to privilege escalation, then try to locate the hash. So that's quite creative, and it's something that I've learned personally myself today. And perhaps I'll use it somewhere when building more challenges. So that is me saying thank you so much, Ruben, for your time, and also for being able to avail yourself and share your skills, your experience, and your how-to with us. We don't take that for granted. So for me, on behalf of the TF Minds, thank you so much. To the rest of the members that were able to join this call, I hope you've learned something. This is going to be work with us. This will be recurring every 2 weeks, and we hope each time we're going to have different challenges, not just in web, maybe different categories, forensics, and all that, so that we can basically diversify this whole experience. And we hope that also, while we give you access to these labs for free, you utilize them. And I like the fact that Derek actually said that you don't finish up the rest of the challenges, so that you don't finish all the juiciness of that particular lab. So for the rest of us that have also been able to join, hoping that you'll be able to see through the remaining steps and finally on that vault. And that said, let's say thank you so much. And the recording will be shared after it has been edited on our YouTube channel. And I see, Alex, do you have a question? Or was that by accident?
Sorry, it was by accident.
Okay, awesome. So yes, once again, thank you so much, and hoping to see you again in the next 2 weeks. Back to you, Derek. If Geoff is not around, back to you, Derek, so that you can finish up the session. Thank you.
Thanks again, Jones and Ruben. I think you're going to wind up for the day. See you again on, yes, Ruben.
Sorry, I failed to mention this. While practicing, I actually did a light up. It's on Medium. I think I'll post it after. I'll publish it after maybe the lab is closed, so that people can go and review it maybe later. It's already written. It's just waiting to be published. It should come, I think, after the session recording, after Jones has shared it. I'll share it in the community maybe.
Thank you, Ruben, for outlining that. We also have our CTF Room community WhatsApp group. Those who are not in the group, you can find the link in the pinned comment. Other than that, I'm so grateful to see all of you joining. I acknowledge that we are a very higher number than we were during our last walkthrough, and I know we are going to improve on that also. Thank you. It was, oh yes, Geoffrey. Geoffrey, thank you. Back.
Yep. Sorry, Derek, for cutting you short, but I just wanted to say that on the WhatsApp community, there's a poll that was put up by Jones. Let's please fill it up so that we can find out the best time to do this walkthrough. in future. And I think I'll also take this opportunity to thank Ruben for the great work that you did. We look forward to seeing more from you. And thank you all.
Thank you for outlining that, Geoffrey. I'm so grateful for that. I believe we are going to wind up at this point. See you on the other Thursday, where we will be having our next walkthrough. Yeah, thank you for being with us, CTF Room team, where we hack, learn, and upskill. Thank you.